This video is part of a series of tutorials covering specific features in Black Hat version 8. Today, we're going to look at the story designer and relationship charts. Every game contains plots and scenes. The story designer gets you, as a DM, started on a scene. This is the Black Hat dashboard, and the story designer link is found here, top left. Version 8 offers 5 scenes for a story. Let's firstly look at a chase scene. I'll click on this link here. Every scene needs a name. I'm going to call this scene Escape from Danger. Every scene needs to take place in a location. I'm going to pick this location here, which I've previously defined in my campaign, Greystone Keep. If I define a predefined action sequence for a chase scene, it will be empty. I'll have to add actions manually. Predefined action sequences will be explained in a different video. I do, however, want a relationship chart. Let's now click this link to create the scene. Here now we see 2 tabs have been created. This first tab is the overview story component. I can enter some description text here, um, and I can navigate to child story components using these links. I'm going to double click on this link to navigate, and that opens that child story component. This second tab is the relationship chart. At the center is the overview story component. Linking from that are the child story components, all of these ones. Also, there is a link to the location where this scene of the story happens. I can drag these around, and if I right click on the mouse, I can carry out other actions. For example, I can edit to go to that location. Okay, I can add new content to this chart. For example, I'm going to add a character band, perhaps um, the pursuers in this escape sequence. I'm going to right click there to create a link to this new band which I've added. Let's add a character as well. Perhaps this is one of the characters who is escaping. And again, let's just add a link to this character. Okay, we've got these 2 buttons here. This bottom button is, you can see from the tooltip, this is to show the chart in full screen mode. We've also got this layout button, which is going to it's going to automatically try and lay out the chart. For example, if I've got something I really don't like, everything all hiding, some things hiding other things, this is going to just lay things out so that things make a bit more sense. And obviously I can, as always, I can reload things I don't like. Okay, another thing we can do, we can right click on these links and we can change their appearance, increase width, change the color, that kind of thing. We can add some text to that link. So some annotation. And that just appears there. So there's a lot you can do with these. You can basically customize the appearance. These are really just for the Dungeon Master's use to show how things link together. The point of the story designer is to create you a relationship chart, get you up and running quickly, which you are then going to edit to type in further details. For example, here we've got obstacles. Let's edit obstacles. Uh, Notes say, consider what obstacles, distractions, or encounters may be present as the characters are underway, whether they're pursuers or they're the pursued. And we're going to decide what obstacles there are. We're going to type in our own description here. Okay, um, so that's really the story designer. Let's let's also let's also look at a different kind of story. Um, Battle is very different from a chase scene. Likewise, an investigation, it's going to be also different. It's going to create different. It's it's going to create different child links. So this investigation here, our overview is this story component. Um, we've got clues to consider. Um, Clues may require skill checks. This is the location where the mystery happens. We've got potentially distractions and disinformation and things that might mess the players up. Um, if we if the investigation fails, we might want to write some notes about what happens next. If the investigation is successful, we might want to write some notes about what happens next there. So these other story designer options are pretty similar. One for a journey, um, negotiation. Battle may be slightly different. A relationship chart for a battle might not be all that useful. Let's just add one and see what it creates. An action sequence, however, um, could be very useful. So let's call this the big fight. This battle is going to appear, say it's going to be here in this location, Valley of Tears. And let's go create and see what it comes up with. Okay, um, so unsurprisingly, just with all the others, we've got this overview story component, um, and that's got these child story components. Um, let's look at them here. So we've got this relationship chart. Um, so considerations are, again, potentially we've got obstacles, skill checks required, we've got defeat and victory potential outcomes. Um, we might want to consider what foreshadowing there might be for this fight and what preparation each sides might make. Um, Potentially more interesting here is this action sequence has been created automatically. This is a very bare bones basic action sequence, but it's going to give us things which probably any battle will find useful. Um, so it's going to end an existing battle if there is one. It's going to set the name, start a new battle, set the name of the battle to this, set the location of the battle to this. There are a whole lot of other actions which might be very useful for starting a battle, which we can define um, during our DM preparation outside of the actual game, which we would add here. For example, let's just have a look at a couple. Let's go assign band to an ongoing battle, and let's choose some band. Let's go these guys, Blackened Hand, main force. Um, okay. What else might we want to do? Um, Roll initiative for all characters in the existing battle. Um, and there are plenty others. Potentially cast spells before the battle even starts. Maybe a particular NPC is going to cast mirror image or something similar. So that's how the story designer is useful for creating battles, chase scenes, all kinds of other scenes which your story may use. The story designer is not the only way to create relationship charts. What we've got here is a completely different campaign. And in our campaign content uh, section on the dashboard here, this is our dashboard. On our campaign content section, I'm going to go to down near the bottom. I'm going to click on this button to add a relationship chart manually. And I'll call this one, and let's just call it example chart. Now, this is a completely clean chart, and I can just add content manually through this panel here. So let's grab some character. For example, let's go Bannox the Clean, and he is good pals with this guy here, Reed Shadowbreaker. So let's just create a link from him to him. They don't get on so well with a lich or lick, I'm not sure how you say that, called Axon Mandus. So let's create a different link from there to this guy, and let's give that link a different color. So I'm going to set that color to this one. Let's add some location where location important to these characters. Um, so this guy here has some relationship to this location, and so on. And we can make this as complicated as we like. We can obviously add some text to this, where he lives. Um, and and obviously there are all kinds of different content we can link to here. An organization, so Orcs of the Blackened Hand, um, other story components. So here we've got um, let's go messages. Um, and a different relationship chart, although in this case we don't have any. Um, so, so that lets you create your own mind maps, relationship charts, visualizations of how your campaign content relates to each other. Okay, that's the end of this video. There will be a separate video on predefined action sequences, which is related to the story designer.